Right now, if you were to dive into the ocean, you might see a shark, maybe a whale, if you're unlucky, a jellyfish. But 400 million years ago? No, you'd see something completely different. The ocean wasn't just dangerous back then, it was an alien world. A world where fish had armor plating and jaws that could bite through bone, where scorpions grew 8 feet long and hunted in packs, where the first apex predators were developing new and terrifying ways to kill. Before the dinosaurs walked the earth, the ocean was already a battlefield. Today I want to take you back, not just to show you what these creatures look like, but to show you what life was actually like for them. What did they eat? How did they hunt? What were they afraid of? Because understanding these animals isn't just about fossils and timelines, it's about understanding how life learned to survive. Let's start at the beginning, way back, before bones, before jaws, before anything we'd recognize as a fish. I'm talking about the Cambrian Period. 540 million years ago, the Earth looked nothing like it does today. The continents were in completely different positions. Most of the land was clumped together near the South Pole in a supercontinent called Gondwana. The oceans were warmer than today, and they covered most of the planet. And life? Life was just starting to get interesting. This was the Cambrian Period, and something happened here that scientists still can't fully explain. They call it the Cambrian Explosion. In the span of just 20 to 25 million years, which is basically nothing in geological time, almost every major animal group we know today suddenly appeared in the fossil record. Eyes, shells, legs, claws. It's like evolution hit fast forward. And at the top of this brand new food chain was something that looked like it came from another planet. Anomalocaris. Picture this. A creature about 1 meter long, which doesn't sound that big until you realize that most animals at the time were the size of your fingernail. Anomalocaris was a giant. It had a flat, segmented body with undulating flaps along its sides that let it glide through the water. 2 massive grasping appendages at the front of its head, curled and spiny, designed to snatch prey and shove it into its mouth. And its mouth? A circular opening ringed with overlapping plates, like a pineapple ring made of teeth. Scientists have found trilobites, those armored little bugs that dominated Cambrian seas, with bite marks that match perfectly with Anomalocaris' mouth. This thing was Earth's first apex predator. For millions of years, nothing could challenge it. But here's the thing about the Cambrian. It was just the beginning. Life was experimenting, testing new body plans, figuring out what worked. And over the next 100 million years, the ocean would become something far more dangerous. After the Cambrian came the Ordovician period. The climate was warm. Sea levels were high, higher than any other time in the Paleozoic. Shallow seas flooded across the continents, creating vast underwater ecosystems. And marine life? It quadrupled. New species of trilobites, the first coral reefs, brachiopods, bryozoans, crinoids, those weird plant-looking animals that are actually related to starfish. But the most important development was happening in the predator department, because this is when the sea scorpions arrived. Eurypterids. These weren't actually scorpions. They were arthropods, more closely related to horseshoe crabs, but they looked like scorpions. 8 legs, a segmented body, a long tail, and some of them grew huge. The largest Eurypterid ever discovered, Yachelopterus, was over 8 feet long. That's taller than most adult humans. Imagine swimming in a Silurian sea. The water is warm, murky. You can't see more than a few feet ahead. And then something moves. A shadow, long, armored, with massive claws at the front, claws designed to grab and crush. Eucalypterus was an ambush predator. It would wait in the shallow waters, hidden in sediment, and strike when prey came too close. And its prey? Anything it could catch. Fish, other arthropods, smaller eurypterids. But eurypterids weren't just hunters, they were also survivors. They lasted for over 200 million years, from the Ordovician all the way to the Permian extinction. They lived in oceans, brackish water, even freshwater rivers. Some scientists believe they may have been able to breathe air for short periods, and they may have been the ancestors of modern scorpions and spiders. But while the sea scorpions ruled the shallows, something else was evolving in deeper waters. Something with jaws. The Devonian period is sometimes called the Age of Fishes. And honestly, that's an understatement. This is when fish went absolutely insane. Sharks appeared for the first time, and they've basically been the same ever since because apparently they got it right on the first try. Ray fins fish showed up. And lobe-finned fish, weird fleshy-finned creatures, started doing something no fish had ever done before. They crawled onto land. That's right, some fish looked at the ocean, an ocean full of apex predators and constant danger, and said, you know what, I'll take my chances with the dirt. Those fish are the ancestors of all land vertebrates, frogs, dinosaurs, you, me. We exist because some fish 380 million years ago decided the ocean was too scary. And when you see what was swimming around, you'll understand why. The true rulers of the Devonian weren't sharks. Sharks were the underdogs, the new kids trying not to get noticed. The real apex predators were placoderms, armored fish with something brand new in the animal kingdom: jaws. Before this, fish were basically living vacuum cleaners. Jawless, toothless, just sucking up whatever they could filter. Imagine trying to be a predator when your mouth is a pool drain. The placoderms could bite, open, close, grab, crush. And the biggest, baddest placoderm of them all? Dunkleosteus. Let me warn you about this thing. Recent estimates put it around 4 to 6 meters long. That's 13 to 20 feet. Longer than a great white shark. Longer than most cars. If you saw this while scuba diving, you would simply cease to exist. Its entire head, almost a meter of skull, was covered in thick interlocking armor plates. Solid bone. Like a medieval knight's helmet, except the knight is a fish, and the fish wants to eat you. But the armor wasn't the scary part. The scary part was the mouth. Dunkleosteus didn't have teeth. Let that sink in. The most terrifying predator of the Devonian had no teeth. Instead, it had 2 pairs of bony blades extending from its jaws, sharp, self-sharpening edges that fit together like a guillotine. And because these blades rubbed together every time it closed its mouth, they were constantly sharpening themselves. Every bite made them more dangerous. Most predators' teeth wear down. Dunkleosteus's mouth was getting deadlier the more it ate. Now let's talk bite force. At the tip of those blades, Dunkleosteus could bite with over 8,000 pounds per square inch. A great white shark? About 4,000 psi. Saltwater crocodile? 3,700 psi. A human? 162 psi. Dunkleosteus was biting harder than anything alive today. We're talking T-Rex levels. In a fish, 380 million years ago. But wait, it gets worse. Dunkleosteus could open its mouth in 1/50th of a second. That's 0.02 seconds, faster than you can blink. And when something opens that fast, it creates a vacuum, a suction effect. Dunkleosteus didn't have to catch prey. It just had to get close enough, open its mouth, and physics did the rest. Prey got sucked directly into those self-sharpening bone guillotines. This fish was so overpowered, the ocean itself helped it hunt. So what did it eat? Everything. Sharks, snacks. Ammonites, with their hard shells, bit through them like fortune cookies. Other armored fish? Didn't matter. Dunkleosteus had the better mouth. And here's where it gets dark. We found Dunkleosteus fossils with bite marks on them. Bite marks to other Dunkleosteus. These things were cannibals. When there was nothing else to eat, or maybe just because they felt like it, they ate each other. The only thing a Dunkleosteus had to fear was another Dunkleosteus. That's either really metal or really sad. Maybe both. Now here's the twist. For all its power, Dunkleosteus had one weakness. It was slow. All that armor? Heavy. Hundreds of pounds of bone plating just on the head. This thing wasn't chasing anything down. It hunted like a crocodile, lurking, waiting, looking like nothing. And when something swam too close, one burst, one bite, done. You wouldn't see it coming. 1 second you're swimming, the next second you're in 2 pieces. But even monsters don't last forever. The Devonian ended with one of the worst mass extinctions in Earth's history. Around 70 to 80% of all species gone. And the Placoderms? Wiped out. Every single one. Dunkleosteus, all of them, extinct. But here's the thing about extinctions. When the giants fall, something else rises. Remember those sharks, the underdogs? They survived, and with their biggest competitors gone, they had an empty ocean full of opportunity. The age of armored fish was over, but the age of sharks was just beginning. After the Devonian, life recovered. It always does. The Permian brought new predators. The Triassic brought marine reptiles. And by the time we reached the Cretaceous, the final age of the dinosaurs, the ocean had become something truly terrifying. Because now we have Mosasaurus. Mosasaurus was a marine reptile, basically a giant lizard that had evolved to live entirely in the water. It had paddle-like limbs, a long, powerful tail, and jaws filled with conical teeth designed for grabbing and holding. The largest species reached over 17 meters, nearly 60 feet. That's longer than a school bus. Mosasaurus was the apex predator of the late Cretaceous seas. It ate fish, sharks, ammonites, sea turtles, probably anything it could catch. And it wasn't alone. There were other mosasaurs, Tylosaurus, Prognathodon, all competing for the same prey. The ocean was crowded with giants. But then, 66 million years ago, an asteroid hit Earth. The dinosaurs died, the mosasaurs died, the ammonites died, and the ocean reset again. After the extinction, mammals took over, on land and in the sea. Whales evolved, seals, dolphins, and hunting them, megalodon. The largest shark that ever lived. Megalodon appeared around 23 million years ago and dominated the oceans for merely 20 million years. How big was it? Conservative estimates say around 15 to 18 meters, 50 to 60 feet. Some researchers think individuals could reach 20 meters or more. Its teeth were the size of your hand. Its jaws could open wide enough to swallow a small car. Its bite force has been estimated at over 180,000 newtons, nearly 10 times that of a great white shark. But Megalodon wasn't just about size. It was smart. Juvenile megalodons lived in shallow, warm coastal waters, nurseries where they could grow safely away from adult megalodons who would eat them. Adults hunted in deeper, colder waters, targeting whales. Their hunting strategy was brutal. Approach from below, strike the fins or tail to cripple the prey, then circle back to finish. For 20 million years, nothing challenged Megalodon. Then, around 3.6 million years ago, it vanished. The climate changed, the oceans cooled, whale populations migrated to colder waters where Megalodon couldn't follow. Its prey disappeared, and so did the greatest shark that ever lived. So what was life like for prehistoric sea creatures? It was brutal, competitive, a constant arms race between predator and prey. Anomalocaris ruled the Cambrian with nothing but grasping claws and a weird mouth. Sea scorpions dominated for 200 million years through adaptability and armor. Dunkleosteus crushed everything in its path with the strongest bite in fish history. Mosasaurus and megalodon became the ultimate expressions of marine predation, size, speed, and power combined. But here's the thing, none of them lasted. Every era ended. Every apex predator eventually fell. Extinctions came, some gradual, some sudden, and the ocean reset. New creatures evolved, new strategies emerged, new monsters rose to the top. The ocean has always been a place of change, of adaptation, of survival. And somewhere, right now, something is evolving. Something is getting better at hunting, better at surviving. The story isn't over. I'm just telling you what happened so far. See you in the next file.